Toy Story 4 was bad. Let's talk about it. The movie opens up with a flashback from 9 years ago, back when the toys were still in Andy's room. And it portrays Bo Peep as a type of commander-in-chief type of character. She's the leader of Molly's room, and she's like the sergeant, like a military person who can just make plans and is part of the planning system of protecting toys with Woody. No. Rewatch Toy Story 1 and 2. In Toy Story 1, she was never portrayed to be anything more than Woody's love interest and kind of a whore. Yeah, she is kind of a whore, in the sense that she's dating Woody, but then as soon as Buzz Lightyear comes into the room and she sees how cool he is, she says, "I found my moving buddy." That was a sexual thing. In fact, Pixar knows it's sexual, which is why they had to reference that line in this movie when she says, "Oh, it's my old moving buddy." No. That was not a friendly thing that you said. Watch Toy Story 1. She said it in a very sexually charged way. She even, if you look at the scene, does this as they walk away. She was into Buzz Lightyear, which is fine. However, it does make her, whatever. Toy Story 2. In Toy Story 2, she just kind of comforted Woody when Woody lost his hat, and then she told Buzz to give Woody a kiss for her. I'm not going to even argue that she was looking for an excuse to kiss Buzz. That's not my argument. My argument here is that she was still, at this point, not portrayed to be any type of heroic character that can do cool things to save other toys. In fact, if she could have done those things, then why didn't she go with Buzz and the gang to go save Woody from Al, if she was so capable? But look, I don't even care that she's not that type of character. I care that they portray her that way in Toy Story 4, because she was never that type of character, but she's portrayed as one in the flashback. And then, no, so don't tell me that she learned how to be this way while being out on her own, because it's clearly portrayed in the beginning of the movie that she had always possessed these abilities. So that's just the first lie, is that they portray Bo Peep to be something that she's not. The other thing is, all of a sudden now, Bonnie does not care about Woody, which I think is also a forced thing that they wrote into the movie to make the plot work, because at no point in Toy Story 3 does she act this way towards Woody. In fact, Woody's the first toy out of all of Andy's toys to be in her room, and she seems to really, really like him. Even more so to the point that when Andy was giving away his toys and she saw Woody, she said, "My cowboy," and she really, really wanted Woody. She even saw how much Andy did not want to give Woody to her, and how big of a deal it was for him to give it to her. And in all the Toy Story shorts that they've made since Toy Story 3, she is still actively playing with Woody, very much so. So, for her to now all of a sudden not give a shit about Woody, after knowing how much it meant for this guy to even give it to her, and also since we've seen her playing with him many times after she had given it to him, and since less than maybe a year or something has passed since she's gotten Woody, it makes no sense that she would not like playing with Woody anymore. Like, really? Just Woody? Just Woody? The most important toy you got is the only one you don't want to play with anymore. Not the cowgirl, the cowboy. Not the Space Ranger, the cowboy. Not the potato heads or the piggy bank or the dinosaur. Just the cowboy that you claim to have such a connection with, which is why Andy even gave it to you in the first place. So, right away you guys can tell why I'm upset. This movie is forcing characters to act a certain way to fit the story that they want to tell. But the story that they want to tell, I don't even like the story that they're telling, because Woody is being abandoned in every way possible in this movie. Also, they make Buzz Lightyear like a fucking moron in this movie. Like, yes, he was always kind of a moron in the sense that he thought he was a space ranger, and they play with that joke in every single movie, blah, 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 blah. But in this one, he didn't even know what a conscience was. This is the same Buzz Lightyear that told Woody at one point to do what, Woody? Live behind glass and never be loved again? Some life. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said. I'm not that good of an actor. But yeah, clearly Buzz has wisdom and is intelligent, but in this movie, he doesn't even know what a conscience is. So, whatever. The point I'm making here is everything in this movie is designed in a very forced way to tell a story because they want to make people sad, but really because they want to make money. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people seem to like this movie. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about it online, but I really do feel personally offended because I grew up with this franchise and I grew up with these characters and I love this movie. And if you're gonna force me to continue, if you're gonna force the franchise to continue, don't shit all over the people who love the franchise that you created, which is what you guys did with this movie. It is what you did. Pixar, you really should be ashamed. I don't even care if you think you put love into this movie. You did not. And I think somewhere in your hearts, you guys know that you really took a shit on a franchise that people care about. You forced characters to act a way that they were not. You forced people to change the perspective of characters in a way that they are not, have not been portrayed at all. And then at the end, spoiler, you want to separate the characters from each other with just a quick goodbye. It was not a big emotional scene. I don't know what the hell Tim Allen and Tom Hanks are talking about when they say it was so sad and they couldn't believe that was the ending. It is a quick ending. It wasn't that big a deal. They said goodbye, which I would never think that they would. And it was stupid. And it was bad. And it hurt to see. That's why I'm making a video in the first place, because this movie was hard to watch. It was upsetting. And not in the upsetting way that I think they thought people were going to have when they saw this movie. Lastly, the reason I don't like this movie is because you guys kind of bring up how toys come to life. Sort of, like a fork comes to life and people are like, wait, how'd that happen? But like it's never explored. Like, you guys could have made a movie about existentialism and what it means to be a toy. Maybe toys come to life because they are portrayed and projected into... They're maybe because they are, you know... Sorry, I'm not talking really well right now. Like, maybe a toy comes to life if life is projected onto it by the kid, which is why Mr. Potato Head is such a dick in the first movie, because he's portrayed as a villain. You know, why Ham is so sarcastic, because, you know, he's the villain in the second movie. Why Woody is like a hero. Why Buzz Lightyear thinks he's a real space ranger when no one else thinks that. I know I'm overthinking it, but if you're gonna make fucking forks come to life, give us an explanation as to how that happens. Is it just because Bonnie views him as a toy? Is that what determines what a toy is? You could have made a movie about that. You could have really dug into the existentialism of toys. Maybe the sad ending of this movie could have been that a toy loses the ability to come to life because it's no longer loved. Maybe you could have dug into that. Instead, you just separated characters and ruined Woody forever. Forever, by the way. His voice box, gone. His sheriff thing, gone. What if Andy one day finds him and he picks him up and he thinks, oh no, that's not my Woody doll. My Woody doll had a voice box and a sheriff thing. I hate this movie. I really do. Anyway, that's it. Bye. Subscribe for more content. Dean David. Disney Pixar's 24th movie, I believe. I could be wrong. Toy Story 4 was bad. Now, Pixar has made a lot of bad movies as of lately. By bad, I just mean not as good as the Pixar franchise is known for. This one in particular is especially bad. The reason it is bad is it's because Dean David can't speak. Dean David is especially bad at talking. The reason that this movie is especially bad, and yes, I will actually use the word bad. Not bad for a Pixar film, but it is bad. The reason it is bad is because it is a fucking lie. Toy Story 4 portrays all the characters very differently than how they are and how we've gotten to know them, and that is a bullshit thing to do.